All right, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Cinema Uncivilized here. This week, it is just going to be me, myself, Joshua Drover, and co-host Daniel Bareilles. Drayton is he's out in Europe somewhere, so
Seems like we say that pretty often, but he's well and he does care about the pod, so there's no worries there, no beef.
yes, he will. Hopefully, he can send his 2 cents in when he can, but he's going to be traveling lots and not access to solid internet connection or recording equipment. So hopefully we can work with him to try to get his input on some movies here soon.
Yeah, to paint the picture for our viewers or listeners, one of the two, he is in fact quite the backpacker type. So you can have that image in your head about him wandering around all of Europe.
Yes, he's a traveler. He was in Ireland for a few weeks, and then he was in the Dominican for another month, and now he's going to be in Europe for another month, and then he's going to be in Australia for another 6 months. So
He's living life to the fullest. What can I
Yes.
say? I've yet to travel even close to as many countries as he's probably been to now. So one day, I guess, when I have my vacation time, I'll try to plan to visit new countries every year if I can.
Yes, Drayton, you live in the dream, brother.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm not sure if he's going to be able to watch too many movies on these trips. So in that case, not so great. But you know what? Maybe he can see some local foreign films in the areas he's traveling.
Absolutely. Or maybe even some alien films. Lame segue into a Disclosure Day discussion. Since that's the latest
Yes.
movie. What's funny is that in our title, it makes it sound like we were bashing the movie for being like a flop before it even came out. And mind you, like it got released like after it already came out. So like we promised we were just saying that we weren't seeing the marketing, okay?
But we weren't the
it's
only
done
people
well.
thinking that either.
No. There was a bit of a discourse for sure.
Yeah, I would say for sure the movie is marketed. Yeah, you're misled a little bit in the trailer, which seems to be a common thing these days, it seems, with movies. Yeah, Disclosure Day, I was pretty hyped to see it. I would say I was excited going into this. Me and Sarah were able to go to the IMAX theater in Vaughan to see. They were marketing as a live Q&A with Steven Spielberg and Emily Blunt. And I was like, oh, no way, I saw this, got super hyped, got tickets right away. And I called Cineplex after and was like, hey, is this like going to be in person, or is it going to be broadcasted, like live streamed? And they're like, nah, it's going to be pre-recorded. So then I was like really bummed out. And I was like, oh, man. But then when we get there and they have the poster on the screen with the QR code saying, send in your, scan this code to send in your questions. So I was like, okay, at least it's going to be live streamed, and that's pretty cool. So it was Steven Spielberg and Emily Blunt sitting in an IMAX theater in New York City, and then it was being broadcasted to IMAX theaters all across North America. So
Excellent.
yeah, it was pretty cool. It's about 30 minutes. He talked about kind of what inspired him to write Disclosure Day. He talked about how back in 2017, there was these posts. I can't remember if it was the Washington Post or New York Times, but they had this article that talked about some whistleblowers about information regarding like aliens and the CIA, stuff like that, like super top secret information and footage. And so that really inspired him to sort of write the script of Disclosure Day and having this information disclosed to the public. And so, yeah, he talked about how he kind of thinks about Disclosure Day as his third and final movie as a trilogy, with Close Encounters, E.T., and then Disclosure Day. And so
Waited a long time for that third edition.
yeah, he talks about how he's old, he's retired, and he's not retired, but he's got all these grandchildren. And so for him to want to make a movie again, it has to be something really important, something he's really passionate about. And so Spielberg's made lots of alien movies in the past, and yeah, it was. So I guess going into this film, you know, there was reviews of people talking about how they were just, wow, like walked out of the theater with chills, like just like amazing feedback. They couldn't believe it, like saying this is the best film Spielberg's done in 20 years. But then there was also some that were like, yeah, like this movie's trash, like you know,
Yeah.
what is he doing still making movies kind of thing. And so I tried to go in there with, you know, a pretty neutral, you know, view and sort of lens, and try not to be too swaying one way to the other. And yeah, I would say this movie would have worked well in the 80s. There's nothing really new being presented. I feel like the way movies are made these days, it's just not as unique to the style and the ideas being presented. The beginning and the ending were pretty solid, but the middle was pretty weak. Pretty much Josh O'Connor, he steals these USB drives with information and videos showing like alien life forms. And he's like, we gotta upload these to this news network in Kansas City. Pretty much Josh O'Connor's character and Emily Blunt's character, they're special because they have this special connection with the alien life. And it pretty much makes them like gods in a way. Like they can manipulate people to what they want. They can foresee things and have visions and all these crazy powers. And so the whole like 80% of the movie is this them being kind of chased by these unofficial government agents constantly with like really questionable CGI.
It was that noticeable. That
Yeah,
it's like,
I was like, okay, this is like pretty not great CGI. And then the ending of the movie, the third act, is kind of where everything kind of comes together, and they finally get to the news station to get this information out. And, you know, I think Spielberg, he really tries to like, you know, really drive things home emotionally with just like having empathy for these aliens, and because you're seeing all how the humans are treating them and killing them and experimenting on them, and which is all great and cool that this information is finally being released. But then it's like, okay, it's called Disclosure Day. I want to see what life is like after this information has been disclosed. How are things gonna process now? How does this change things in society? And so, yeah, it just seemed like you put a lot of time on this big old chase, not so much on kind of maybe what I think would be a little more valuable.
I see. I was gonna ask about the sentimental part about his movies. Like that is what maybe more like part of his filmography, where he constantly has sentimental messages, just emotionally driven plots, just emotion. I don't, but you get what I'm saying, right? Every single movie he has this sort of feeling that it's a Spielberg movie because there's a bit more heart to it than just what we're seeing on the screen, and just what we're learning about sci-fi. So I was going to wonder about that. What are people's biggest complaints about this movie? I thought the third act maybe people didn't like, but you're saying it's more the middle. So I guess, have you heard anything else? Like, what are people's gripes about this movie?
Yeah, me and Sarah both agreed that the middle it just kind of got old really quick. Like, it dragged, and it felt like they could have wrapped up this big old long chase
So it
quickly.
It would be like they did something, they're escaping, they escape, they're calm for like 5 minutes, and then they're onto them again, and then they start running or chased again.
Exactly, yeah. It's like,
and it just keeps
it's
going.
like a game of cat and mouse, constantly like driving, getting chased, and then hiding again, getting at the motel, and then peace for like 2 minutes or like 30 minutes, and then like an hour later. Because are you gonna watch this movie? Probably. I don't know.
Well, one day.
Okay.
I don't know, in theaters. I'm just super, like going to the theaters right now is kind of hard for me. but I mean, I'd like to, but I'd imagine no. I probably won't end up seeing this movie in theaters.
Okay, well, I'll just say Colin Firth, he's kind of plays the bad guy, and he has this power through this piece of alien technology where he can sort of dive into people's consciousness and sort of physically see in the room and manipulate. He possesses the person he's trying to enter in a way. And so he does that with Josh O'Connor's girlfriend constantly. And so that's how he's able to find out where the location is and stuff. And so it's just lots of that where all of a sudden he's like, oh, okay, I know where this motel is. And then he's sending like 200 blacked out Dodge Chargers all racing, barging down the door. Yeah, just stuff like that. But yeah, like I think maybe the third act, maybe why people might not like it as much is because it seems like Spielberg is kind of relying on that emotional punch a little bit too much with the fact of all these videos being released and seeing the aliens being tortured and killed and whatever. Maybe it just seems like it just wasn't quite enough to sort of drive things home in a way. And like I said, maybe the fact that it just ends right there. We don't know what happens after this information is disclosed. So I haven't heard too much discourse on that, but yeah, those are just my thoughts.
Yeah, it feels maybe that they feel it's a bit fabricated. It's not, and as you said, they don't spend the time really building towards it. It's more so it happens, and they all of a sudden they want you to feel this embrace of emotions about so and so thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, understood. Is there any standout performances, or you think everyone was just kind of like decent?
Yeah, I mean Emily Blunt's was good, but I wouldn't say it's anything like amazing.
There's not going to be many Oscar noms, is what you're saying.
No, but you know what? Lots of people were impressed, and I would say I didn't. Well, after watching the movie, I was impressed by her performance, but sort of solidified things after hearing people talk about it was there was this anchor woman who was, when all these files were being uploaded, she was just kind of left up there trying to make sense of everything that was going on and trying to explain what she was seeing for the first time with her eyes to the news and the rest of the world. And she was overcome with emotion, seeing like these aliens being hurt and tortured and just trying to come up with an explanation for these things. And so I think she was very, very believable, very good. And yeah, so she had a very small role, but she really packed a punch. So, and Josh O'Connor, of course, we love Josh O'Connor. He was good, but nothing really sort of that standout-ish for sure.
Just a thought that came was like, in terms of the bad CGI mentioned, was that scene where you see it looks a bit heavenly and glowy and the deer or whatever, like walking towards this house. Is that like one of those scenes that looks kind of,
you know what? Oddly enough, that was actually probably one of the better scenes. And that's what I'm confused about. 'Cause it's like, okay, do they just pick and choose which scenes are going to look really good and which scenes are going to look not so good? Because that scene, it looked pretty good, but I would say the animals, like the deers and the fox, first, that was kind of their disguise as aliens. That's what they were disguised as. And so, yeah, the animals looked pretty bad. Like I would say even the sheep and the sheep detectives looked way better than the animals in this. I'm not even kidding you. Like the sheep looked good.
Disclosure day.
Seriously, like the sheeps looked legit. They looked really well. It looked really good. I was impressed. But yeah, like the deers and the foxes in this movie, like you could really tell it looked like CGI. But yeah, like that scene with the house, it actually looked pretty good. But with the scenes, a lot of the chase scenes was bad. And there's a specific scene, you'll see it, maybe I think it might be in the trailer actually, but you see the Chargers, it's like they're like smashed into the train and they're getting dragged and they're like trying to get on this train, and that whole sequence is just a mess.
And it's not pleasant to look at.
Yeah, no, yeah, it looks pretty bad. kind of looks a little more like Marvel CGI these days. And I was
That's
asking
what's
my
funny,
wife-
right? Like Marvel CGI at one point was good, but these days,
These days it's really bad. And I asked my wife, I said, why is it so bad? She goes, well, because one day Marvel just decided that they were gonna make everything CGI, and so everything's done in one of those, I don't know, like warehouses where everything's like a green screen, blue screen. You know what I mean?
yeah,
There's no practical effects or anything.
no, it's sound stages.
Yeah, sound stages. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just constantly CGI, and but also I think they're trying to put less money into it. They're trying to pay well, actually the complaint I heard was that CGI developers or whoever works on the animation and VFX, they're given less and less time to actually work, and so what they turn in is what they turn in, you know, and they just go with it. As I learned with movies, right? If you have a deadline, it looks like back in the day, and we talked about this in sort of the Close Encounters thing, you could delay a movie. You know, most movies you could just put it aside until it's ready. And only now, I guess, have they really put that into work. Disney, like Doomsday was delayed a bunch, but I don't know if they delayed it because of VFX. So I would just say I think VFX people are given tight deadlines, and it takes time to really perfect. And if you don't have that time, you're kind of just, it's like a school assignment. You're kind of just handing in whatever you got. And what are they going to do? Not take it? So I think they end up with the pressure, not being able to do their best work. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense. Speaking of Marvel, Sarah, one of the movies that she's really excited to see this summer is Brand New Day Spider-Man. And so I bought tickets to go see it in ScreenX because the Spider-Man movie was originally formatted for IMAX, but because the Odyssey is taking full priority for that time, they're not going to get IMAX release. So Marvel kind of redesigned the formatting so that it will be specifically designed to be viewed in ScreenX, which is a format that movie theaters provide where it's pretty much like your screen that you're looking straight at, and then they have two screens that come along each side, 270 degrees view. And so the idea is you look at the normal screen ahead of you, and then you sort of let the screens on the side fill in your peripheral. And so, yeah, I've never been to this format. I know Dre said that he went to go see F1 in this format, and he said it was really amazing. And so, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the new Spider-Man movie in this format.
Yeah. I guess I've never experienced it, and if they manage to make it work, then cool, good for them. Because, the IMAX screens, which is amazing in a way, that Marvel doesn't get a grip on the industry, essentially values other films that maybe actually apply IMAX cameras, and just like that's the main show. The fact that Dune Part 3, and because that's what it's happening. Like Marvel, for whatever reason, is literally competing with the biggest blockbusters of the year that have nothing to do with them. So it's interesting, and they're losing the IMAX battle as of right now. And I think based on ticket sales, they probably will continue to do so. I think they're going to save these IMAX screens for the movies that's the front of it. Because for me, Spider-Man Brand New Day, it could come in normal screen, ScreenX, 3D, whatever. Like, I don't know. I'm not thinking in my head, oh, I need to see that in IMAX.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I think back in the day, as we talked about, it may have been worth it. Avengers and just other movies like that.
Yeah, but it with why would you pay extra money to go see a movie in a premium format that is just going to look like crap?
Mm-hmm. Or it doesn't even need to look like crap, but just like it's not presented as the need to see it in this format. And I think like Mandalorian and Grogu, for example, I think that was in IMAX theaters at one point.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, so like what's the selling point there for me to go see it in a special format? There was really none, and I mean, financially that the proof is there as well.
getting beat out by Obsession and Backrooms consistently.
Yeah. Backrooms is the highest earner now for A24.
Yeah.
Is that correct? Yeah.
Wow. So what was it? Was it Everything Everywhere All at Once that was top? Or
Maybe.
oh no,
And
or what? Yeah, I don't know. Can't remember. I remember it being like Marty Supreme, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Civil War, the drama.
I think Civil War was the top, which is I think we
Civil
talked
War
about that.
was top opening weekend, but not overall.
Okay, not
grossed.
top overall. Yeah, again, we talked about that. How that's just so strange.
Yeah, it's so random.
Yeah, I really don't I don't understand exactly what was the hype, but clearly people liked it. And so that's super exciting. I've mentioned this already, but honestly, I keep coming across TikTok live streams showing movies, and I think I came across one showing Toy Story 5 today.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, I would if I saw that person in the theater, I would.
Oh,
I would lose
but it seems like not like person filming in the theater. It's actually the movie. And Obsession I've seen multiple times, and for whatever reason it's always the scene where he's in the music store chatting with what's her face and eating the cat
Sarah?
sandwich.
Yeah, the cat
Sarah eating
sandwich.
the cat sandwich. I always come across that scene for some reason. Last night I was scrolling and I came across the live stream and it showed the scene where she was in the corner when he was sleeping. In a way, it's fine because we've seen the movie already, so I know. I even saw the ending not too long. Like I scrolled, and it was exactly like when he was talking about winning I want $1 billion, and so I saw the scene where he comes home and the whole ending, which with her crazy voice.
Okay, so there's this guy I follow on TikTok, and his content is he kind of covers any sort of news in the fitness industry. So he's always covering Sam Sulek videos or bodybuilding, Mr. Olympia content, Chris Bumstead stuff, anyone that's in like the fitness community, he's covering their content. And randomly he did a video where he's like he talks about Obsession, is in his opinion on it, and this was like 3 days ago. He posted this movie, he's just watching it now, and he had a hot take.
Oh,
He said it was the worst movie he's ever seen, that he just didn't get it. It wasn't scary at all. He thought that the whole movie could have been done in 10 minutes. And I was like, there's no way. I was like, there's no way this guy's saying this. And everyone's like, dude, you're the only one with that opinion, man. Like, even I says, like, stick to the gym content, man. Like, you don't know ball at all.
that's just really embarrassing. Because like, what besides saying that, what is the argument for why it would be that bad? That makes no sense whatsoever.
I'm going to send it to you here. I'm just going to try to find it. Okay, right here. Yeah, I'm going to send it to you. All right, send it to me. All right, I sent it to you. You can check it out.
Yeah, like that's just so ridiculous. Because he's saying a whole lot of nothing.
Oh, yeah, so I actually made a comment, and my comment got folded. What did I say? I said, let's see, view folded comments. I said, stick to gym content, Charlie. Skull emoji. Obsession was a phenomenal movie worth every penny seeing in theaters. Everyone I know loved it, so this is definitely a hot take, or it might just be rage bait. And then I asked, what horror films would you consider scary or well made? Nothing.
It's not a long movie, isn't it? Like 90 minutes, 100 minutes.
Yeah, it's not very long at all.
Yeah, and so, well, I could argue that most movies could have a short film version, and I'd imagine Obsession, like you could do one, but though it was very fleshed out, it took its time. I didn't think any scenes were too long or too short, and I don't think that you could do it in 10 minutes because you see the development of his like thinking of the situation. We don't get even to him like cracking the One Wish Willow until about the 15-minute mark, if I'm not mistaken. Like we're introduced to other ideas before that happens. So the movie's even trying to show that it's more than just the scary part. But I guess this guy, he just went looking for what's the scariest thing and called it a day. Like, oh, well, that wasn't scary. Like, yeah, just not interested at all in the substance or what it's trying to say. Just straight up, if it's not scaring me, it's a bad movie and one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Like, it's very reactionary. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I
he's
couldn't
definitely
believe
never
it.
seen. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
I was
definitely
like,
never
dude,
seen
This
the
guy
War of the
doesn't
Worlds.
watch any movies. Like,
No, I don't think, and that's the case for probably a lot of people, right? Like, we see the content because we are to the algorithm about like cinema people, but I think a lot of people, yeah, they go and they don't do the research, and that's fine. Like, that's not what they're into, but they also give their opinion and they try to make it sound like this is the opinion. It's like, dude, like what, what are you talking about? He's not offering anything really in that argument. Just saying his mind, and that's fine. Just
yeah.
don't try to make it sound like it's bigger than what it actually is.
Mhm.
That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, he that guy truly was alone in his opinion. I'm not even kidding you. That's the first person I ever heard that like not
Dislike the movie,
enjoy
yeah.
it. Yeah, dislike. I haven't heard one person online or in person didn't like that movie.
One of the most liked movies. Everyone enjoyed it,
Yeah.
and including myself. And I would consider myself a harsh critic. And I don't go into a movie looking to dislike it. But that being said, an obsession definitely won me over. Backrooms is one I heard about people not liking because as fans of the work, they thought that it was lackluster. I haven't seen it yet, but I've seen a few scenes from the. I actually saw the opening scene yesterday. Again, a live stream I came across. Like, it's definitely a stylized sort of horror film, right? Backrooms.
Yeah, for sure. Like, it's not a very. It is scary. Like, I don't know. It's a different kind of horror. It's completely different from Obsession. You know.
Just eerie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the way it makes you feel, the liminal space, the lighting, the found footage. You know, the idea of being chased. It's just.
Oh yeah, I mean that is terrifying. And like I said, in the opening scene, spoiler alert, by the way, in the opening scene, whatever is going on, like, just gets to a dead end and that's it. And you don't see what happens, so you only hear what's going on, and definitely terrifying. So yeah, just waste opinions. I was mentioning a movie I guess I've seen recently. I've been very, for the viewers, just very not watching movies at all. I mean, I have the World Cup going on. We got Love Island going on. You know, some serious stuff. So I haven't had the chance to really tune into many movies. My wife did want to see this Netflix movie that came out, which was made by Sony Pictures actually, and you could tell that it wasn't a Netflix movie. Basically, like it, because my assumption was that this rom-com, which is called Voicemails for Isabel, it has Zoe Dutch, if you know who she is, and Nick Robinson, I believe is his name. He was in Jurassic World, like the first one. And he was in Love, Simon, if you know that one.
Yeah, I know Sarah wanted to watch this movie as well.
Yeah, but you've seen this guy before, right? I'm showing, for those who
Yeah.
are listening,
Yeah.
photos of Nick Robinson. Yeah, so my assumption was it's not going to be anything special. I'm like, Netflix movies, all they give is very simple stories that, I mean, they've mentioned it, right? That people scroll on their phones, so they're going to make the story simple. They repeat themselves. But as mentioned, I noticed at the very beginning it has like a Sony Pictures thing, and I'm like, is this a movie theater movie? Like, this is, it wasn't released to theaters, but it had that whole vibe, and it honestly was very good. Like, if you were to watch it, you would actually be surprised at how much you'd enjoy it. Zoe Deutsch, whatever. She actually gives like such an amazing performance in the movie for a rom-com, of course, but like, she's so natural. It's unbelievable. Like, I never thought like I'm watching this actress perform. And for example, there's a movie with Miranda Cosgrove, which is really not all that interesting, and it's just, you can tell it's Miranda Cosgrove trying to just get through a gig, essentially. This one was actually like a proper rom-com, good movies. It isn't simple. Like, it asks questions of its characters and shows their moral dilemmas, and like they act like real people, not just nonsense. So I would recommend it. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. Good laughs and heartwarming enough story.
Nice. Yeah, no, it looks like a lot of the people I follow, same ballpark, 3 stars, 3.5s. So it seems like a solid movie.
I would say that. Solid. Of course, it's not going to be the best thing ever, but very solid.
So one of the movies I recently saw in theaters a couple nights ago was The Furious. Did you hear anything about that film at all, Daniel?
I actually have, because my dad and my brother were supposed to see it yesterday, but then I heard my brother had some car troubles, so he had to take it to the shop, and so they didn't end up seeing it. But that's to the extent what I've heard about it, and it's an action movie.
It's an action movie. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this movie is like, I remember people giving it really high praise. It's I think on Rotten Tomatoes it was like 98%, 97% audience and critic score. So I was like, okay, this movie clearly must be pretty good for it to get both critic and audience score the same. And yeah, I was really intrigued, wanted to go see it, and so the opportunity presented itself. Actually, originally, Sarah's friend Stephanie and her fiance, they invited us to go see Scary Movie 6, and I was like, yeah, is there any other movies you want to go see? And so I said, okay, well, any movies I want to go see would be either The Furious or Toy Story. And so Sarah's like, well, I don't want to see Toy Story. And so we went to go see The Furious. And pretty much it's this Chinese film that it's pretty much like, I like to compare it to Chinese John Wick or Asian John Wick, because that's kind of what it is. A father-daughter gets abducted into human trafficking, and so he pretty much it's just him like hunting these people down and trying to get his daughter back. I had no idea actually it was about human trafficking at all, but yeah, pretty much very, very well choreographed fighting scenes. So good. There was some really good funny parts in there too. Yeah, it was a blast. You know, the four of us had a good time. It was funny. It was just so absurd at sometimes and silly. And yeah, it was very entertaining. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I gave it a 4 stars. Yeah, it's like John Wick, Monkey Man, and The Furious is kind of like the holy trinity of revenge plot action movies.
Yeah. And by the way, for people that watch, I know sometimes I look at my phone. I promise I'm reading up on the movie in case you want. I am listening to Josh. I promise. So I thought that this was in relation to like the Raid movies. Yeah. You know, yeah. But it turns out it's like it's not the same producers or directors, so I don't really know what the relation is. But and those are Thai movies, anyways. I'm pretty sure. But yes, in the same vein of like, was it nonstop action? You'd say?
Oh yeah, pretty much. Like honestly, there was very small moments where there was dialogue or things to set up the plot, but yeah, it was pretty nonstop.
Have you seen Tony Jaa movies as well?
No, but I did actually hear about a guy talking about how he's seen The Raid, he's seen Tony Jaa, and how he loved this movie so much more than either of those.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mentioned those because I think The Raid has a bit more maybe of a story to it, if that makes sense. Ong Bak, the Tony Jaa movie, if I'm not mistaken, okay, I have to double check this, but it's a movie where these guys steal his elephant and he goes and just like the movie is nonstop, just killing, murdering people with his bare hands, in order to get his elephant back. Yes, no, wait. Let's see. The plot follows Ting, a Buddhist monk trainee, Muay Thai specialist from the village of Ban Nong Pradu, who volunteers to travel to Bangkok to recover the stolen head of a Buddha statue. So it's a different movie I'm thinking of. But Ong Bak is like the famous one. I need to look up I'm gonna look up Tony Jaw elephant. See what that gives me. Because I've seen a lot of these like clips via it's Ong Bak 2 or Tom Yum Gung. But yes, they be stealing his elephants, and he goes and wreaks havoc. And he like, I think there's you can find on YouTube like a 9-minute action sequence of him just going up a tower and just beating miscellaneous people up nonstop.
You know what? It's, as crazy as it is seeing these super long action sequences, you got to think and God be impressed. Like, damn, like these people, the effort and energy that it takes to be able to do those scenes consistently is pretty impressive.
Absolutely. The work that goes into it. And I'd say this about like reviewing movies. Obviously, these types of movies, you have to review them differently.
Exactly.
You can't go into it with the same expectations.
Definitely not.
And so they're just looking to entertain people, right? With all the great stunts. Was there anything you'd never seen before happen in terms of stunts or action?
Yeah, there was a couple things that was unique that I've never seen before. And I was like, oh, that was cool. That was a cool way to die, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, I'd be interested for sure in seeing it. And like I said, my family has an interest in it, so I'm sure I'll do that. But I ask about Sarah. Did she enjoy it? Because is this really her type of vibe?
I think the first thing she said when we walked out of that movie was, yeah, I wouldn't have picked that movie to go see.
Yeah, that's what you mentioned, The Furious, and Sarah. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, I don't think so. I think she might have preferred Toy Story 5. But I do wonder as well, why was she so against Toy Story 5?
I think it's more so the fact that she hasn't seen the fourth one. She loves the first three as a trilogy and doesn't really see the need to have all these extra movies. And so she doesn't really care too much about the franchise anymore, I guess you could say, which is fair.
Yeah, we might dive into a little bit of like questioning why they kept going. They kept going because of money, really. It's the most successful one of the most successful animated series of all time.
Yeah.
So that's the reason.
Do you know how much money it made this weekend?
I actually don't.
It broke records. Like most money grossed in an opening weekend this year. I'm not sure ever, but it was over 100 million.
That is very interesting because I was talking to someone today. I'm like, I feel like these movies do well because we were talking about Disney movies and how they're just rehashing or doing live action remakes and they're making money. And I'm just like, are parents just bored? Like they just want to take their kid to whatever comes out. And so I guess parents just really wanted to take their kids to go see this movie because that would be the audience. And that's where you get most of the money. You get in a bunch of families. You're paying more tickets. So there you go. I guess that's
okay.
That's the lesson there.
I want you to guess here. I want you to guess how much domestically it brought in and then how much internationally this opening weekend.
I guess I questioned when you said the 100 something, was that domestic or international?
I think it was domestic.
Oof. All right. I'm going to go 112 domestic, 170 international.
160 domestic, 312
what?
International.
Dude. Because usually international is like not even half the money that they make domestically.
So international was 152 million. Domestic was 160.
Yeah, that's 50,
together
nearly 50%.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
Well, this just shows the power of these characters, right? Like, if we're internationally, like in Latin America, let's say in Colombia, it's like, oh boy, yo quiero ver a Buzz Lightyear, and if you grow up with, because I can't think of if there are Toy Story I'm sure there are, but if there are enough Toy Story adults that would drive that much money, I think it has to be
Well, Taylor
that
Swift.
little kids are still into these movies
Yeah, I
and their
don't know
timelessness.
well, yeah, definitely adults for sure. Toy Story adults, 100%. Like, I don't usually go see kid movies, but I was willing to go see Toy Story 5 because it's a rewatching these movies. Like, I was laughing like crazy. Like, I forgot how hilarious these movies were. It was just so good. And not to say, who knows, to say that these movies were the same, because the nice thing about Pixar back in the day is, they made these kid movies that were good for the kids, but also funny for the adults. And lots in my letterbox comment I wrote, like, so much sexual innuendo in these movies.
Yes.
I don't know
Yes,
if they're
it is
doing that
true.
for Toy Story 5 still, but
Maybe not. Maybe not. But Toy Story 4 was pretty good. It's not. Was it necessary? Probably not. But it was honestly like a pretty good movie. So I didn't mind that there's a fifth one, but it's kind of like I agree. Is it really necessary? I know the story, messaging, and all that could be like a bit more focused on today's message. Maybe that's why it sticks out. It talking about technology, and I've seen some clips honestly because I've somehow come across discourse about the movie, and there's a lot of I know there's a scene of it's like a bunch of kids on their tablets, and we'll get into this whole talk I guess about like how we probably used to play with toys and the influence that Toy Story even had on that. But yeah, I mean, if people aren't playing with toys as much anymore, is that a thing? Do kids get bullied because they play with toys now? Like, you're poor, and mind you, toys are expensive. Toys are expensive. They're not cheap. Yeah. So that's an interesting thing, and maybe if that's the message, they wanted people to get off. I think the message was about a balance at least, because of course technology is not evil per se, but it certainly is a distraction from real possible creativity. And I'm like definitely guilty of spending probably too much time on my phone. But when you work and all that, you kind of just want to pass time through entertainment. But imagine if we didn't have the technologies we had now, how would we spend our evenings, right?
yeah,
So,
it's true. It's I'm always, me and Sarah were talking like, oh, like she's talking about how she thinks maybe she's on her phone too much, or how she always feels like she needs to have like a background noise show on. And even me, it's like the TV, like whether it's a show or a movie, it's on, or YouTube, relaxing time. If I'm not out going for a walk or at the gym, if I'm just at home, I put the TV on, watch a movie, watch a show. So yeah, times have changed, right?
yeah, absolutely. So important messaging that could be shared. I think maybe one last topic we'll touch on. You mentioned you watched Decision to Leave
Yes.
on Mubi.
Yes. I want to get all my movies in so I can cancel it.
I recently canceled it because I never got around to. Hopefully, I did it in time, by the way, because the day I happened to check, it said the day of like renewal or whatever. So
Nice.
I didn't even check. I mean, if so be it if I accidentally paid for an extra month, or I was a free month anyways, so
Yeah.
I guess I'll give them their money. Why not? But
Yeah.
but yeah, I just never got around to it. There's great movies there, but as I mentioned, I'm having a hard enough time watching movies on any platform I already have, let alone movie. So I agree. I understand.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I've had this on my watch list since we did No Other Choice, and it's Park Chan-wook. Probably gotta be one of my favorite directors at this point.
Yeah.
Like, just amazing the camera work this guy does, and his storytelling, and is just amazing. Like, so beautiful, so creative, so unique, so different. And yeah, Decision to Leave, I really enjoy. I gave it a 5 stars and a heart.
There you go. Yeah, I
Like,
told you.
it
I told you
really
it was
resonated with me. I was just, so I'll tell you this. This is the third time telling you this or someone this, but I've been on a pretty good tear, like 4.5, 5-star movies recently. And the other 4.5 movie, well, I watched a 4.5 movie with a heart, and that was actually Dogtooth. I finished watching Dogtooth, and I was just like, wow, that was a good one. That was a good one. I was just kind of left blown away with that. And so both Dogtooth and Decision to Leave, both late night movies, both kind of a commitment. Like Decision to Leave is 2.5 hours long.
Yeah.
Both these movies are in subtitles, and so you kind of really have to be like awake and engaged to view it because you're reading subtitles. And so halfway through both these films, I fell asleep, and then I woke back up again and was like confused. And so I rewinded back to whenever I remembered last and started rewatching. And then from that point on, like I was locked in, like I was awake. I was like, I need to finish this movie. Like I need to see how this ends. And so that's how it was for Dogtooth and Decision to Leave. And so just really engaged with the plot, the characters, and I just really felt like I don't know, I feel like I could relate a lot to this guy from Decision to Leave with his story with, you know, falling for this girl who's crazy but very good looking.
Yeah, we all fell in love too watching the movie. What's so interesting is like, do I remember really well any, like, I can't even tell you exactly how the plot unfolds, to be honest. Like, I'm slowly recalling things to my memory, but like, I'd have to watch it again and I'd probably end up enjoying it. I've seen it twice, mind you.
Yeah.
But I just remember the feeling I have whenever it gets to the ending and he's on the beaches.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I always
So
felt
good.
like, damn, this is a good movie.
That's
like,
that's exactly what I was saying to Logan. I was talking to him about this movie 20 minutes before we started recording, and I was just like, I was, by the end of it, I was really just kind of like, wow. Like I was just blown away, kind of like, this was great. Like this, you really wrapped things up really nicely here. And I was just left thinking like, dang, I don't know, like a movie, I find a good movie when I was younger growing up, it was the ending of the movie is everything. And I find movies with a good ending really leave me feeling either confused, like I'm feeling something good, or it's just really resonating with me. I'm left thinking about it for hours after, days after. And yeah, this one was just one of those things, yeah, where he's on the beach yelling Sue, like this girl's name, you know, like she's I don't want to spoil it because I know Logan's gonna watch. He said he's like, damn, you gave it 5 stars, I'm gonna have to watch this movie now. But yeah, like this movie, it's really good. Highly recommend if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, would you say it's better than No Other Choice?
Oh yeah.
I'm glad I'm right. I'm glad I'm correct on it.
Yeah, definitely.
Excellent. Yeah, I mean, I'd love to watch it again. Maybe own it one day, because whenever I've watched it, I've enjoyed it. So,
okay, before we wrap things up here, let's talk about this these Criterion Collection releases here. I know you sent me that Stanley Kubrick one. That would be amazing.
My brother shared with me.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. The whole set. Mind you, I haven't even seen all of Kubrick's films yet. But
you know, I never mentioned what he actually said. He said he shared with me, and he said Josh is going to pee himself. That's what he said.
Yeah,
but yes,
cool $500 chilling. Mind you, that was probably in USD as well. So
yes, so probably what, 600 at least.
600, 700
Canadian,
with taxes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, tax, man. Woo! Things just go up like crazy. I bought some World Cup jerseys. You know how much I spent on that?
Were they fake?
For two jerseys. No, they're like legit jerseys.
For 2 jerseys, I'm gonna say $500.
Well, there you go. Yeah, around
Yeah.
there. Yeah,
Yeah, that's crazy.
like that is crazy. So I don't, if people want to spend their money on that box set, I mean, it's something tangible you'll have if you hold on to it forever, and there's so much knowledge and wisdom and just interesting facts to take from that in itself intrigues me, because probably my favorite part about doing this is that, and I don't do enough of it, but like reading up on the history and production and how the story came together. And I would, like, if I were to do music, I would love to know more about artists' process in creating this specific song, and how did this melody come to mind, or where did this whole concept begin? So anything like that where it gives you so much bonus features.
Yeah.
Would I have time to review all that? Probably not, but I would. Yeah, it'd be so cool.
Bonus features are awesome with physical media, and that's, excuse me. Yeah, so I definitely want to. I've started building up my own physical media, and used to have tons as a kid growing up, but obviously with this new age of streaming and everything's digital, and yeah, it's really sad that even though technically you paid for this, it could be gone. It could be taken away from you because you don't actually own it.
Yeah, I think we used to buy movies for like on the PlayStation or something like that. And it's like, well, do we really own the movie though? Because once the PlayStation's gone, or the PSN is gone, like, do you really have the movie with you anymore?
Yeah.
Why not? So definitely I would love to own more movies, and I'm very happy with what I have on physical media, and considering some of my favorite movies of all time are not even on streaming whatsoever, like, it's necessary to get it on. Is Nacho Libre on streaming? I don't think so. Hot Rod is not on streaming. Comedy Hot Rod. I don't think Napoleon Dynamite's not on streaming either. So if you want to find these gems, you actually have to like purchase it. Or Ghost Story's not on streaming. So if that's not available to watch, like, you're just never going to watch it. Most people are just never going to watch that movie, and it'll just be forgotten about.
Yeah. It's really sad to think about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So definitely worth getting that. And then you share with me a Wes Anderson one as well.
Yeah. I actually applied because they're like, oh, click the link in the bio to submit. It's like a contest, right? So they're going to fly you out to LA. You're going to get to go into the Criterion Closet, and then you get to go to a Wes Anderson screening. So I picked a Darjeeling Limited screening. So that would be cool. I doubt it's going to ever happen, but why not, right?
You want that brotherly vibe.
Yeah. Darjeeling Limited is one of my favorite Wes Anderson films, so I was happy that was going to be showing.
That's beautiful. Yeah. And then the Criterion Closet, you're going to be like all those celebrities that go in there. I forget who it was, but someone didn't spend a long time in there. He just went in there and picked his favorites and got out. I feel it was like an older person, like Robert De Niro or something. Like, he just went in there and came out, while other people spent about 10 minutes in there. Oh, well, this one really speaks. Like, it's like, have you really seen that movie though? But if you're an actor, I suppose, like, you're spending your time actually studying past works.
Yeah, I wonder like what makes the cut to be in those closets. Seems like they have a very wide variety, but also like real cinephile movies.
Yeah, like a lot of obscure.
Yeah,
you'd have to introduce me to it, and even then, like, I know sort of the basic quote unquote basic ones that people would be like, oh, that's so basic, even though it's a very like out there movie that maybe just is popular amongst cinema people. But
I hate that.
Yeah,
it's like, it's good for a reason, man. Like, who cares if it's mainstream or basic? Like, if I want Interstellar to be on my top 4, then it's gonna be on my top 4.
That's so mainstream, right? It's like, what? What do you?
Yeah.
Like, what does that even mean? Mainstream. Most movies are either popular or not, but it doesn't make a movie better if it wasn't popular. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't make you a better person because you like things that aren't popular. Um, what was it? I was gonna say that I came across a TikTok where it talked about Radiohead, and someone pointed out like Kid A, which is like the album after OK Computer, which OK Computer would be considered the you're so basic, you like OK Computer, and so yeah, just that idea of like they were talking about this other. It's a pretty out there album. It's pretty revolutionary for its time. Just not your typical album whatsoever. It's not like easily just accessible to listen to. No song has like an amazing chorus that you just follow along with. And but anyways, yeah, they're just trying to say like, oh, this is for the people that don't want to be basic, but they kind of are basic because they're big. It's like, shut up, bro. Let people enjoy what they want to enjoy.
Oh my goodness.
I will judge you though if it's like objectively bad, But
Yeah.
art is subjective, but I would argue that there's objectively good and bad components of art. But anyway.
Yep. I agree. Awesome. Well, we hope you enjoyed this our little banter and discussion on this week's episode of Pillow Talk. Thank you for tuning in. Dre will hopefully join us on the next one, potentially. But yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you're on YouTube, and if you're listening from Spotify or Apple Podcasts, to turn on that little notification bell to get notified when we drop episodes next. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys, and we look forward to hearing you on the next one.
Appreciate it, guys. Peace.
See ya.